We're back for a second watch along in a row.
2 in a row.
That's what that meant, yeah.
Is it? I don't do math. I thought I explained this.
Today, this comes out on the 25th, which is the 45th anniversary of Halloween. So we're watching Halloween 2. No, we're watching Halloween.
And who we got with us? Did we say?
We got Pete.
Yeah, that's me. Hey, I have a correction already. So, in the future, there's going to be an episode.
In the not too distant future?
In the not too distant future, perhaps, with our foreign correspondent. And I didn't get an introduction. We talked to everyone else and said, hey, here's who's here. Not me.
I didn't introduce myself either. I think at this point, people would know.
I don't know. Well, yeah, how would they not know?
How would they not know? Very good.
How would they not?
We also are visited by the ghost from upstairs.
Yeah, Pete's wife.
Kitty, you're here.
Yes, I'm here.
You're his wife?
Yeah.
Is that what that thing was that we went to?
Yeah.
15 years ago?
I think you were the only one who wore a suit.
I didn't wear a suit. I wore a pink shirt.
You were dressed up. I was wearing, like, linen shorts.
And Hawaiian shirt.
No, white linen shirt.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
And not,
but you were fancy, and it was hot. I mean,
Thank you.
Yeah.
boy.
Thank you. I like that the most memorable thing you have from your wedding day was that I dressed up.
Yep.
You almost dropped me on the floor.
Pretty good.
I did almost drop you.
They got married at the best place I've ever seen a wedding. You can't do them there anymore, though. It was the Buffalo Central Terminal. In that giant location. You get married in one spot, have the big dance floor, have the bar, have the DJ. It was like the best spot I've ever seen for a wedding.
There was no toilets,
Thank you.
no running water, no heat.
We had the
no air
fanciest porta
conditioning.
potties that money could buy.
It was really... I had fun the day before, like setting it all up. That was fun.
I think a bunch of people got to go on a tour.
I went on the ghost tour.
Yep, I missed because I was taking people to find a bathroom because there was no bathroom there.
Yeah, there's only one person that worked at the thing, and she would take you up and show you the floors that are haunted, but everything was so... You couldn't walk on anything anymore. So you
Yeah.
could basically just stand at the end of the hallway and be like, that's where murders happened, I guess.
Yeah, the Buffalo Central Terminal was an Art Deco. Is an Art Deco, but it was an active train station for a while, and it's shut down and been abandoned for decades.
If I'm not mistaken, it's the train station that brought Theodore Roosevelt to town after McKinley was shot.
I believe you are correct.
Probably.
Go TR.
That's what I got. We killed William McKinley, and we'd never recovered from it as a city.
We're one of the two cities that has had a president born here, assassinated, and
Grover Cleveland.
and inaugurated.
Well, Millard Fillmore technically was not born here.
Yeah, I know, but we're close, so we take it.
Yeah.
The other
Okay.
city is technically not either, but it's the closest.
If Grover Cleveland wasn't born here, why the fuck is that road next to me named after him?
Yeah, Kitty, I think he was the mayor for a while.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, because Buffalo used to be something before we shot William McKinley.
I think one of the
It wasn't even one of ours.
I don't even remember his name.
I know there was 3 names. That's what I'm sure of.
For what?
The assassin of McKinley.
Oh.
You'd think you'd remember something like that. And I remember...
Because I can get to the house that he died in 15 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there. It's
I
cool.
haven't.
You know what?
I can't remember it.
You keep thinking. I can see you have your thinking face on. I
What does her face look like when she's not thinking?
Angry.
kind of a resting bitch face, to be perfectly honest. I love you, Kitty. That's a nice wedding we had, wasn't it?
Yeah, Brian
Remember
dressed up.
those good
I
times?
don't care. I know what my face looks like. Angry most of the time.
And rightfully so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna watch.
We're going to watch Halloween.
I watched it for the first time last night.
That's a mind-blowing fact for me, because it's one of the biggest things in not just horror, it's one of the most famous things in movies.
I have notes on my pre-watch.
All right.
Well, the things that you knew about the movie, just
Yes.
picking up through the
Pop
culture,
culture,
the
yes.
zeitgeist, wherever one finds these things.
Yeah.
All right.
So, do you want to hear my notes
Give
before
us-
we start?
Give us what you thought you were walking into to watch.
Okay. Okay. So my notes.
I hope the first one is it takes place on Labor Day.
No. I do have one that
Easter.
It might happen on Halloween based on the title, but it's a horror movie, so who the fuck knows? I do have that it's a scary movie and it's a classic movie. It's the one with Michael Myers in it and Jamie Lee Curtis. And Michael Myers is her brother at some point.
Yep.
He kills people. Not sure why. Maybe it was
That-
his mom.
Nope, that's right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the best. That's the best description of Michael Myers that you could possibly give. Honestly,
I was going to say.
he kills
did
people.
you-
Not sure why, because that's the movies. Whenever they don't adhere to that, they fall off the rails.
Oh, the sequels, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Kitty.
Okay. And then just last note. It doesn't take place at a camp because that's Jason, and it definitely doesn't take place in space.
Or dreams. Which is Freddy. That's one of the things that makes this movie, to me, one of the best, because before this movie, Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out, but that takes place at a farmhouse in Texas that I'm never going to be at. Black Christmas takes place at a sorority house that I'm not going to be at least not legally. And Psycho takes place at a motel in the middle of Arizona. This takes place in a neighborhood that looks like every neighborhood I was in growing up.
It has palm trees and California license plates.
That's where I grew up.
Well, yeah, right. I forgot.
Seems like a reasonably wealthy neighborhood based on the size of the houses.
It does, but time, like 1978, there was a middle class because Reagan wasn't elected yet. Let's get into that later. That's enough presidential trivia for today.
That is a lot.
It was pretty good. I got my dig in, though. I'm pretty happy about it.
Alrighty.
Okay, you can let us know what you thought of the movie as we go on, because I'm excited to watch one of my favorite movies. If you're going to watch with us, there's a Compass International Pictures logo that will move and form into the logo. As soon as it stops moving, go ahead and hit pause, and then you can hit play with us, and we'll watch it together.
It looks like a guy with curvy arms on his hips.
He's waiting for someone to come. He's waiting for his kid to come home after getting a bad report card. I've seen that guy in the driveway before.
It kind of looks like the Incredibles logo.
I can see the disappointed guy.
I can see the disappointed guy.
You know what? Is it weird that that's all I can see now, too?
Oh, shit. That's what it looked like when I got a D in English.
I'm sorry,
Me
Dad.
fail English? That's impossible. I couldn't even fail English. I got a D. Okay, so we're going to count down from 3. 3, 2, 1, play, and you hit play on play. That seems self-explanatory.
3, 2, 1.
3,
2,
2, 1, play. I got in there the first try. That's what she said.
Hey!
Dark foreboding music.
I'm sorry,
There he
Dad.
is again.
I'm
There
really
he is.
sorry. I'll do better next time.
He popped back up to let me know. Mustafa Akkad owned the rights to this franchise for a long time, and it got away from him, is the best way to say it. Donald Pleasance, ahead of the title. He comes in before John Carpenter's Halloween.
Was he that important of an actor?
No, but he was the only one that was known. This was Jamie Lee Curtis's first ever movie.
Right.
Yeah, I had to say that to Pete 3 times, even though it says introducing Jamie Lee Curtis shortly.
In my defense, I said I think it's her very first movie.
She got the role because her mother is
Right there.
Janet Leigh.
Right.
And he thought it would be fun to make a slasher movie with the daughter of Psycho's Janet Leigh.
There was another connection, I think, too, movie-wise.
A connection was made? The last
Loomis, though, that Nancy Loomis is Annie. And then they have the Dr. Loomis, and I don't know if there's a connection there.
PJ Souls as Linda. Do you know what her last name is, Kitty?
Souls?
No.
No, she got it.
I see what you did there, and I see what I let you do there. Linda's name in the movie. Her last name.
What? Why?
'Cause-
I don't know. Hauer.
Van der Klock. Linda Van der Klock with a K.
Is it spelled Van and then Der and then Clock?
I believe so, but that is her last name. That's trivia that Brian just told me, and I think that's fascinating.
If you're listening to this movie like a normal person, you'll hear John Carpenter's music, which is, people know it even if they've never seen this movie.
Why are you getting closer to me?
Because I'd like to face the TV. And
Oh,
watch
the
it.
movie. Okay.
My neck hurts when I turn it to stare.
When you turn it to stare.
Yablans.
Erwin Yablans is the guy who is the reason this movie exists. He released Assault on Precinct 13, John Carpenter's previous movie, and made some money on it overseas. So we hired John Carpenter and said, I want you to make a horror movie. And all he had was, I want it to be about killing babysitters, and I want it to be called The Babysitter Murders. And half of that ended up on screen because it's not called The Babysitter Murders, which I think is a great name.
That's true.
Yeah.
When we were watching this last night, Kitty started just talking her way through the first part. And I was like, no. Tomorrow. Tomorrow is when you say all of these things, not now.
See, this is like shaky cam, but I think it might just be
It's first person.
filming. Well, like how filming was then. Like naturally, shaky cams, they hadn't developed the technology yet.
Actually, that's true, but there's a whole story on that. They used something else. Not for this. This is supposed to be shaky because it's a point of view shot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The
Of a midget.
the actual. You going to throw that word out just for fun?
Well, I'm thinking of, I don't want to spoil other movies.
Oh, there's the marathon man himself. He's about to have the longest sex I've ever seen on film.
That happens like more than once in this film.
I thought you were saying this house.
Well, probably.
Yeah, they're about to go upstairs, and
Yeah.
there's like a 1.5 minute at best. I'm giving him some. I'm giving him some.
I
Extra
don't even
time
know
maybe.
how they take off their clothes
I
in
don't
that
know.
amount of time.
I've always assumed that he got up there with her and she took off her clothes and he goes, you know what, I'm gay, and then said thanks, see you later, and then hit the door because there's not time for anything else.
Like, look, they managed
Lights
to
off.
turn off the lights.
Yeah,
So while I see, first off, I think the timing works out.
Wait,
Makes
we're going to
sense
come
me.
to like just a random hole in a wall. That's how he enters the house.
I think there was a door.
the
I
door's
don't-
open.
And I mean, technically, you're correct. It is a hole in the wall.
But look at it. There's no door. It's just a hole.
Yeah, they had to do the one shot.
Yeah.
Couldn't be fumbling with doors.
No
It was
time.
Too much work.
This did have a very cheap budget, right?
Oh yeah,
Like shoestring.
yeah. He
Yeah, but they could have had a door. It seems like they built a whole house. Or at least
this is an actual house.
Okay.
The
fine.
house
Where
still
was the
exists.
door?
They just moved it. It's actually not in the location it previously was. It got moved down the street.
It's one of those where you see it driving down in the back of a truck.
I think it's a realty place now. But people go see it all the time because it's the famous Michael Myers house.
And,
You can walk in, I guess, because it's a business
And there's no back door.
Jamie Lee Curtis's father was a realtor.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
right?
So that's why he gives her the key, right? Coming up.
Yes.
Yeah.
He says, "Hey,
I thought you meant her real father, Tony Curtis.
maybe
Well,
he was due. There's good money in real estate, from what I hear."
This
Like,
guy
see, this was all of 5 seconds.
already
Yeah, marathon man.
Marathon man. Whew, he left her pleased.
Yeah.
Look at him. Just look at the face. That's like job well done.
And he just walks out. She
He
doesn't even
survives.
get down the stairs.
He survives because there's restraint in 1978. Anytime this movie would be made post this, he'd have been the first death. You can't resist killing any
suppose.
character you see on screen.
Girl singing a joyful melody.
Yeah, he just rocked her world.
You can tell.
Somehow, I don't like.
She also got undressed and in the shower. She had time for
She
that.
didn't get in the shower.
No, her hair wasn't
Oh, she
wet.
was doing her hair, right.
Yeah.
Sorry. In my head, it's the shower.
But for some reason, she still has her underwear on, so I don't know what happened.
That's a clown mask.
I know, it's
Look at that
very
little tiny
weird.
hand.
So I have a theory.
You're not supposed to know it's a kid yet, but it's a little kid's hand.
Oh, no, that's what I noticed right away. I was like, that's a small child's
Yes.
hand.
But it's so short, your point of view.
Yeah.
It kind of like makes you think that it's a kid. Or maybe I've just, I don't remember because I've seen this movie forever.
He's like, I don't know if they had time to do that.
Yeah.
I have a theory that when because it fades out, this vision there when the camera adjusts for whatever it's focusing on, like the knife and things. When he's wearing Bob's glasses,
Yeah.
he realized that he needed the corrective vision. That's why he misses and slashes her arm. Oh, yeah, I missed it.
They had to turn the camera to show the knife, which is weird, but they had to
Yeah.
put the blood on her. Because it's all
to
done in
take
one
the
shot.
time. Yep,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Oh, okay. But I don't know why he would have been looking at the knife while he's stabbing her.
The only reason is that they had to put the blood on her.
Okay.
And they really did this in one take.
This is some bad parenting about to happen.
What are you talking about? They just left
wait.
their kids at home on Halloween night to go to a party themselves, as one did.
Wait, but like, watch them.
Oh, he's adorable.
Right.
Right. Well, yeah, But watch the parents as
I'm
they took
watching.
his mask off.
Uh-oh.
She puts her hands in her pockets.
She's
has a look.
disappointed.
She has a look. She's the guy from the
Like-
title, Compass International.
Yes, she's you can tell.
She's got her.
She's
Oh, yeah.
disappointed. Look
But
at her.
Let's watch them go in and check on their other kid,
Nope, that's the look that I got from my dad. That
or
dad,
take the knife away.
that dad seems kind of impressed by the costume.
Well, one of the themes in this movie, though, is how the
Bad
reason
parenting?
Michael Myers is able to walk. Yeah, that's in there too. One of the reasons that Michael Myers is able to walk around undetected is because it's Halloween, so he's got his mask on and nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like looking at him like, "Oh, it's Halloween. What's his costume? What's the bloody night? I don't get it."
You know what's really funny? I never realized that's why he could just wander around like a goddamn weirdo the entire movie
It's
and hang
not-
outside of schools.
It's
Again,
the-
I've watched this movie once, and I picked up on the fact.
It's the one day a year that nobody's going to question it.
And then throughout this entire movie, there's just children trick or treating indiscriminately the
There's my
entire
friend.
day.
That's the man.
Oh,
the
yeah.
man himself, Dr. Loomis.
He-
Quite possibly the best character in this movie.
No, he is the best character.
Quite possibly the best character of all time.
Right, he's up there with your Ashes, your...
And
Yeah.
Kitty, you've never seen any of these Halloween movies until this one yesterday. What if I told you this is the most sane Dr. Loomis ever is in a movie?
Listen, Pete told me that last night, and I'm actually inclined to believe you because I've heard things.
I said,
I've heard pop culture things.
I I thought the end of it. So I went to the theater and I watched it with you, Brian, a year ago. So it's a year ago that I saw this movie before I watched it with Kitty last night. And I thought that Loomis runs away at the end after he finds the nobody and his coat
Cackling.
flaps behind him, cackling off to, continue the hunt.
Yeah, that's the beginning of the second movie. He goes outside, and a neighbor comes out, and he's like, get away from here, call the police, do whatever, I'm crazy. And the neighbor's like, this better not be a joke. I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight. And he looks at him and goes, you don't know what death is. And then he runs away with his coat billowing in the wind, and he's completely off his nut from there on out.
I'm so happy that that's how it starts.
This is a very composed Dr. Loomis.
Right.
He's super calm. Notices matches for no reason.
Well, that's his clue that he's going to find later to continue the hunt.
I know.
So I like in this part, he's laying out like this is a monster. We don't want to deal with him. We should never be let out.
It's a bad idea, everything about this.
And she's like, why are they moving him? And he's like, because there is the law. Like, I like that
because that is the law.
Yeah, he's stuck.
Yeah, he's clearly not happy about it, but yeah, it's there.
I don't think Loomis has ever had a happy moment since he met
I don't
this kid.
get why they're not here concerned about all of the other patients just wandering around.
Well, it is a concern.
He's concerned.
He's got a bigger concern.
Yeah. No, these guys,
Yeah.
these people don't matter.
Right.
Yeah, right.
It's
They
a
could be serial
distraction.
killers or something.
I think they just wandered out on their own in their own little crazy walks.
It's a good visual, though, all those patients out in the middle.
ghostly because they're all wearing like white.
Like, he just yells at her like 5 times in the scene, and she just takes it.
Well, it was a different
Move,
time.
go on,
Yeah.
move. I
You know
love
what, though?
Loomis.
I think that's people are used to him talking like that. I think that's just his day-to-day voice. That's his talky voice.
Here's
See, they're
Michael.
all wearing bed shirts.
That's Michael Myers. And he's going to have, if you look closely, you can see a wrench in his hand to break the window. Because everything's done practically. So when she backs up to the window and the hand's about to come down,
Son of a
look at the
bitch.
top of his palm.
You're right. I can remember it now.
On the other side.
I think I wondered why his hand looked so weird.
See, this nurse, the first thing I would do is roll up all my windows if there's a bunch of patients
Here it comes.
wandering.
You're going to be able to see in his hand. Right now.
Yep.
So you can see it. He's got to smash the window.
That was a jump scare for Kitty. A movie that I think she had just finished telling me that it's not that scary because it's so old. You can't be scared by it.
I didn't say you can't be scared. I just said the
Nurse
effects
doesn't get killed either. Because again, there's restraint in 1978.
Yeah.
This is one of the early slasher films, right? 'Cause
Yes.
I don't really.
It's the inspiration for all the things that we got in the 80s. It's the one that, even though it wasn't the first one, it's the one that everybody was like, oh, we can make money on this. Do it.
But I thought we established that like at the beginning.
If he doesn't listen.
No, I
I
don't.
know.
And I'm just trying to figure out where it is. So there wasn't much before because you keep saying it has restraint. But
It's
it was.
Haddonfield, Illinois.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Unsettling music play. If you don't
See, and I think what helps is a lot the soundtrack.
his music
too.
is so great. I also think that this movie was shot by Dean Cundy, the director of photography. It's got a very, very like perfect feel for what it is. It's got soft tones a little bit. It looks very 70s because it is the 70s, but I like that it doesn't have any of the gloss that like even the 80s slashers would have. So it kind of puts it in its own time. But the Dean Cundy look is very specific.
Is there other movies that
He did all the Halloweens for a while. So even like Halloween 3 that people don't like as much has that Dean Cundy look to it like this.
Okay.
And I would argue that like Halloween Ends specifically does its best to try to recreate it. Even though that too is not a great movie.
Was that the Danny McBride one?
Yeah.
I like that one.
We call it the Danny McBride one. He's probably had the least amount of work to do on the movie. He's not in it. He didn't direct it. He's like the third writer build.
That's how I remember it. And I liked it.
This location, the one in the background there where she's later going to be sitting with the pumpkin waiting to get picked up, is a place you can go. Apparently the people that live there are really nice. They leave a pumpkin out so everyone can take pictures all year round because they know people are going to come. Meanwhile, the people that own the Doyle house at the end, I think it is, they hate people. And these things are all near each other in California, and people go on these tours, and like some people are really nice about it and come on in, and they'll come talk to you and everything and give you facts.
Other
and some people
people-
are like, I hate that I bought this house.
Stand there with shotguns.
No. It's Tommy Doyle, who will grow up to be Paul Rudd.
In part 6, where he's a druid. I saw that one in the theater.
It's correct. The movies go off the rails, just like Dr. Loomis.
How many does he come back for?
Loomis?
Yeah.
He's in 1 and 2, and then 4, 5, and 6, and then he dies.
In the movie or in real life? Or
Possibly both.
Okay.
For sure 1.
He should definitely come back again. Just keep
I wish,
emerging.
he died in 95. Halloween was, 1 and 2 were, 1 was a giant hit, 2 was a big hit, 3 was not with Michael Myers, so people didn't like it. But then 4 was really good, and then 5 was kind of a disaster. And then he came back years later for 6, because it was 88, 89, 95.
So this is the part that begins everything, right?
This is why he's after her.
That's
Yeah,
why.
Just because he sees her.
Yep.
He's just mad that she
He's not mad.
put
He's
a
just,
key under the mat.
Random chance.
he's just interested in her. That's all it is.
Hey,
Well,
you know what?
technically, he should kill that child then.
He follows him for a second.
I know.
He does. Anything attached to it, it's creepy. Everything he does is creepy.
And she's going to sing a little song that she had to make up on the fly because they didn't have the rights to anything.
Oh, so she's
Oh.
just singing it like Jamie Lee Curtis made it up.
Yep. So anyway.
Which is kind of funny because just the two, she's singing that. It's kind of like making Jason. Yeah.
It's a perfect.
Okay.
It's not Jason, but yes,
Yeah,
very
it's
good.
Jason.
So
Slap a hockey mask on.
95, the series is pretty much dead. And then Scream comes out in 96, and there's renewed interest in slasher movies. So they get Jamie Lee Curtis to come back in 98 for the 20th anniversary.
H2O.
H2O. And
Joshua Jackson.
nope.
No, which one was that? Resurrection.
Joshua Jackson's not in any Halloween
Yeah, he
movie.
is.
No, he's not.
Peace.
You're thinking of I don't remember his name.
Loomis is talking.
You're right, Kitty. That is more important.
Josh Hartnett.
Oh yeah, I am.
This is the part where he points out that Michael Myers could drive out of here. He's doing that well last night.
Maybe someone gave him lessons.
How did he learn to drive though?
How hard is it to drive?
Pretty hard.
I don't know.
You don't have to do it well. You just have to get the car moving in the direction you're going. How do you know where he was going is more important question to me than how do you learn to drive. There's no map quest.
Well, he asked the guy he killed.
Yeah, he had a map in his
Yeah.
repairman truck.
Now, here's another thing. This scene has been redone in all kinds of movies, including later Halloween movies. And people always try to attach meaning to what they're talking about. The one thing you'll learn from listening to John Carpenter talk about this movie, nothing was done on purpose. This is just a random conversation about fate. It has nothing to do with anything that's going to happen in the movie, but people try real hard to tie it up together.
Like it was just a speech he found from a book and said, "Here, read this."
Whatever nonsense they wrote on the day. Now, here's the thing. He already has his mask. He's got his mask now. So he went from seeing her to the store to rob
That
the
got
store.
robbed, yeah.
But the alarm's going off several hours later. But he's got the mask. So we know he's
I
been to
don't-
the hardware store.
All right.
Oh, was he standing there? I missed
he's-
that.
he's
I
in
thought
the
his
car.
car was just parked there.
No, you
Okay.
can kind of see his head or the outline.
Yeah, so this is everything that people interpret in this is incidental. And all the stuff that Laurie Strode is that became commonplace for Final Girls is written by Deborah Hill, who was John Carpenter's girlfriend at the time, who
I
went
was
on to
about
become
to
a very
ask, yeah.
powerful producer. His 2 requests to do the movie were that his name go above the title and that Deborah Hill co-produce it.
So, I don't know if you were looking at Jamie Lee Curtis
I've seen
here,
her.
but she sounds and looks exactly the same as she does right now.
I think she looks better now.
I think she
I
has
said the same
changed.
thing last
Yeah,
night.
Pete said she's hotter, so
I think she looks better now. See, we get better at our old age.
I know.
We'd
but I
rather
think-
look at a 70-year-old than a 17-year-old.
I think she looks better older. Like I look at her
I
now.
think she looks exactly the same,
She
which
sounds
is a good
exactly
thing.
the same.
Yes, she
One of
sounds
these-
40 years old.
One of these little dipshits is Lonnie Elam, but I don't remember which one he is.
I heard knocking too. I have no idea what we're haunted.
Oh.
No,
that
not
always
my
made me so
pumpkin.
sad.
That really made me sad.
He's got a cool babysitter, though. I think that's
Look
Lonnie.
at that.
I think that was Lonnie.
Probably.
We'll know later because Loomis is a creeper hanging in the bushes going, Lonnie,
I know.
get your ass away from there.
He wasn't even hiding that well. It was like a waist high hedge.
Now, my assumption is he's following the kid because he's like, that kid knows the girl I'm after.
That was kind of mine too. It's just anything attached.
Yes.
But you don't know what he is, and right now, you know he's a killer. And if you listen to Crazy Loomis, he's kind of evil.
Again,
Does
is he
put a
crazy,
seatbelt
Loomis?
on? Oh, we can't see.
Because he's right.
I know. I call him Crazy Loomis because I can't remember his first name.
Sam.
Crazy
Doctor.
That name sounds familiar.
Doctor.
Yes.
Sam. Where have I heard that? Sam.
Don't know.
I think he's a Samuel, too.
No, that doesn't ring any bells.
No.
Nope. All right. Ooh. Now who you following?
Still
following
that
same
little kid.
person.
So, yeah, I don't think it's hard to drive to get back to that point. I think that he's an adult man, even if he's never driven before. It's not hard to figure out there's one on the left, one on the right, move forward.
And
Well,
you know,
he's been institutionalized since he was 5.
If you put a
Or
person,
6.
a grown adult who at least has motor skills into a car, I think they'll figure it out pretty quick. I bought Fred when she was like 4, that Batman car. She'd never driven before, but she got on the thing and was able to maneuver that thing all around.
True.
Fred, that's my daughter. I know
Yeah.
that name.
Like the Fred proves the Michael Myers point. It's not that hard. Because it seems harder to me to drive that Batman car than it is to drive a real car.
And you know what? I don't think we see him go more than about 10 miles an hour at any point.
Oh, when he took off from the insane
Yeah.
asylum, he was going pretty quick.
All right. I take back my statement.
The Great
How
Escape.
does Loomis know
Which I
to
believe
be
he was in.
here?
No, he just stopped using the phone.
Okay. And then he like randomly looks this way,
And then
there's
he
a
found the
big red
matchbox.
truck.
And he's like, ooh, I'm on the right track.
Does not find the body.
No.
That does not look that hard.
No, he doesn't care.
This is where he gets the mechanic suit.
Right.
yeah.
I caught that.
Possibly
Even
the
me.
mask.
And the map
Nope,
that
the mask
got him
comes
to
from
Haddonfield.
the store. They point out that he stole a mask,
Son
rope,
of-
and a couple
Couple
knives.
knives, yeah.
Which the rope, we never see what he does with the rope.
Right there was a sign that said Haddonfield, 62 miles. So that's
Wait,
how Michael...
How did Michael Myers learn to read? He was just a child when he
He
got
was just... You know what? You're right.
Well, he might have learned.
This is all craziness.
Hey.
No one cares that guy's dead and still clothed somehow.
Michael Myers' second kill of the movie.
Well, we don't know. Did he kill people while in the institution?
I don't think so.
No.
He didn't talk or do anything. He just sat there and waited
He stared at the wall.
Until
through
Halloween.
the wall.
until technically the 30th.
Yeah, right.
Places to be. There's Linda Vanderclock.
Vanderclock rules.
And Pete's favorite character, Annie Brackett's coming to come in here in a second.
I don't
She's
know.
adorable. I love her.
Annie?
It's her
Yeah.
utter annoyance at just life itself.
She's not a great friend, though. She's constantly belittling Laurie.
Oh, and
Oh no,
calling,
neither of them are.
I think Linda's too
friends.
dumb to be belittling Laurie or even be interested in what Laurie's doing. I thought this 78 fashion looks good to me.
too dumb to be little or belittled.
Yep. Yeah, Annie's that's a pretty cool outfit, honestly.
Yeah, and her hair is awesome.
She's a cool kid.
She is the cool one of the group. Linda's the slut.
Always got to have one. Mm-hmm. This is how women always hang out. There's always a slut.
And again,
there's
these-
always the cool one,
You
and
gotta-
there's the dorky one that dresses as
These
your
tropes
mother.
would be used over and over. And again, as John Carpenter will tell you, like, that wasn't on purpose. We needed a character to have sex. We needed a character to be the friend. It's what it is.
So everything that is considered just the staples and the rules of horror, it's all done just happenstance, randomness. It's
Yeah.
John Carpenter not being interested in this movie. Is that what you said?
It's literally an accidental masterpiece.
I like how stupid they make this girl seem.
Yep.
Who needs books anyway?
I like how in the background you hear she keeps going on my chemistry book and my math book and my English book. Who needs
Exactly.
books anyway? I don't know about books. I never have books. Like,
I always forget my books.
That's the Vanderclock way. You know what they say about those Vanderclocks.
in the remake, they have the Linda Vanderclock character with Bob. They go to the Myers house to have sex, which I think is a better idea, to be honest.
To the old abandoned
On
house.
Halloween night, the
Yeah.
abandoned murder house. Like, that's a pretty good idea. Like, that's the one thing I'll give Rob Zombie. I think that was actually a pretty good idea.
I did not see that one.
There is a geography problem in this movie. So we saw that the Myers house is within walking distance to Laurie's home.
Right, because she had to drop the keys off.
Now she's walking back to her house. So we're in the same area as the Myers house. Later in the movie, while he's standing outside being a creeper, Loomis sees the car that was stolen down a few blocks down the road. So we're within a few blocks of the Myers house when we get to where they're babysitting. Why does it take them half the day to drive to the house?
You think
I will. This will come up.
you think Miss Time Clock over here, Miss I know when it's light and when it's dark?
I'll give that one a pass because maybe they just went joyriding to get high.
Well, that was Pete's idea, but they must have like a huge amount of weed just
Huge,
chilling in their
because
car.
they left in the middle of the day and it is night. It
and
is
they're still
midnight.
smoking.
And they're still, well, you got to babysit kids. You know what it's like, be with kids.
Yeah.
You got to do something.
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Nope. But we're gonna get this famous hedge, which is another place you can go take pictures. Oh, it's the hedge house. The guy that lives at the hedge house does not like people.
There's a hedgehog live there.
There's a whole hedge
But
house.
he has the hedge up.
Well,
you
I
could-
mean, that makes...
But you could fix this problem on your own.
I would just add hedges. Just make my entire lawn a hedge.
I get that you don't want people on your property, man, but cut your hedge down.
Hedge your bets and plant a new one and cut down the old one in a different spot.
That's why the smoke was coming out of your ears. You were trying to figure out how
That's what I was
There
doing
it
this
is.
whole
There
time.
he is.
Just a creeper. He's just a Loomis.
Just a Loomis.
See, what he could do is just put a hedge in the front of his yard, like right around the sidewalk. And then since he hates... Also, his hedges don't match. I would take them down.
No, the purple of it, though, is I think what makes it stand out so much.
With all the green and the rest of the
There's
neighborhood.
the part Pete always asks me about where the smoke is. It's coming up here. You're going to be able to see, literally,
Yeah.
John Carpenter's just holding the camera, filming this, and he's smoking while he's doing it. So on this shot,
Oh, yeah,
when you
no,
turn the
I
side,
see it.
you'll see the smoke come on this next,
To the right?
right here to the left.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, look at that.
That's because he's literally smoking a cigarette while he's filming the scene.
That's awesome. I told Kitty, I'm like, there's some point you see his smoke. I don't know where it is, though.
It's just funny because that's how this movie was made. Was like, just film it.
If you needed any more proof that it is a slapdash,
Yep.
lackadaisical production.
It's accidental. A lot of it's accidental.
See, he already has hedges all around his house. He might as well. He seems to love hedges.
This guy loves hedges. Well, it's not the same
Exactly.
guy. This is a different person
hates
owns it
hedges.
45 years later.
It's the same then. There's another hedge.
There's a lot of hedges.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I never could tell the difference between California and Illinois because I didn't know what either looked like. But
That's
as you
fair.
get older, you do realize that some of these things don't make any sense. They literally was just, this is true. It's just people go to some of the locations and they throw some leaves down like that so that they can blow around. And then they would shoot the scene and they'd be like, great, get those leaves back. I'm not making
Look
that
how
up.
creepy this cop is. He seems like he's going to make a move on her.
Annie's dead?
It's the
Yeah.
70s. I don't know what that means.
He's like, hey, look at you.
People were creepy in the 70s.
With those sideburns.
He gets the best. He does
Look
this
at him.
twice though. He jump scares people twice by jumping up behind them, and
Jumping
he does it to
behind.
Loomis too. He's like, after Loomis scares Lonnie, he gets scared by Brackett.
That's karma.
right.
Yeah,
You deserve that.
Loomis is looming.
the usually unflappable Dr. Loomis.
He flaps.
That time.
It's just,
More hedges.
I think that the opening of the second movie and how Loomis acts is one of my favorite things to pretend it's the same night because it's like, when did he have time to do all the crazy pills on the way down?
Do you remember my mom had a hedge between her house and the neighbor's house
Yeah.
for years and years, and she would never trim it. It would get super high, like 8 feet.
No, I've heard that about your mom.
It was the 70s.
Yeah.
That's if you're talking about bushes.
Same thing. Well, it was a little more wiry, I guess. All right. Anyway,
Hope
one
your mom
day,
doesn't listen to this
for one
one.
day, my brother cut those hedges down. Just decided he's ripping them off. They're done. Kitty came to stop by the house, and we watched her drive right past it because
I
she
was
had no
driving home from work.
And we're sitting there going, I wonder where she's going. We were all in the front yard,
Look,
like
there he is.
Lumen. Oh,
Yeah.
Lumen. His name should have been Dr. Lumen.
right, because Loomis is Lumen. Now, in the background, there is a picture of James Ensor, Belgium's famous painter, which is a They Might Be Giants song that just stuck in my head. And I'm wondering why. I had to go look it up. Apparently, he's known for painting people with grotesque masks on, like grotesque face things.
I was going to say the way to know that Lori is a bit of a nerd is that that's her painting or poster she has up in the room. But I think that now I know why you were a nerd because you knew what it was and had more story for it.
Meet James Ensor, Belgium's famous painter.
We don't have the rights to
Dig
this.
him up and shake it. Oh,
See,
you
the
know
thing
what?
that really
You don't
bothers
need
me is
rights on
that
the
she's
internet.
got a hat hanging on the wall.
She has that head hanging on the wall in Halloween Ends in 2022.
I don't understand.
And she has that Raggedy Ann doll, too,
Ugh.
when she's in the insane asylum.
That's the original Annabelle.
I didn't know that. But all of this is random.
You didn't know that Halloween was a prequel to Annabelle?
No, I did. I really, but none of this means anything.
Who's she talking to on the phone right now? Annie.
I like Annie so much.
See, she's getting picked up at 6:30, so that means it's supposed to
Nighttime.
be towards night. Well, no. That's in where we live. It's nighttime.
But they live in Illinois, which is
Yeah, in
Yeah,
October
I
at
guess
6:30
so.
it should already be dark, but it is
Right.
broad daylight when she gets there.
Yeah.
I guess at least
At
it explains why it gets dark
6:30,
so
yeah.
fast because the sun was late that day.
I like how she's like, this is ridiculous. I'm just going to take a nap.
On my tiny little bed.
A tiny bed that she does not fit on.
That scene is basically recreated in Scream when Tatum says, "I'll come get you at whatever time," and then Sidney lays down.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I never put that one together.
Like, if I was freaked out about life, I would, close all my windows.
See these leaves? How could it be
Lock
California?
open doors.
Yeah, it's fall. Pay no attention to that. Everything else is green except the leaves that fall on the ground.
And it's supposed to be dark out.
These
Because it's
people
6:30
are
here.
apparently the nicest people in the world.
Oh, okay.
They're the ones who...
They,
Put the pumpkin
they keep
on
getting
there.
new pumpkins to put out for people to take pictures with. And they invite you to come sit on their property and take pictures.
Look, just
Have they been
trick or
sued by
treat
anybody?
all day.
who fell down and got hurt. I feel like that's not a horror fan kind of behavior.
I think that I've not been to this part of California, but I'm pretty sure that the Nancy Thompson house from Nightmare on Elm Street is like 3 blocks away from this.
So there's a bunch of horror fans wandering through
Yes.
these neighborhoods.
I think it's Pasadena, but I'm not 100% on that. But yes, there's a lot of locations you can hit from all these different movies.
So technically, here they're driving around for maybe like 2 hours until dark because they got to get there before the parents go out.
With how dark
so
it
this
is-
is a pickup at 6:30 and then until maybe 8 o'clock.
And now that alarm's been going off the whole time
It's
in that
Yeah.
store.
If I had to guess what time it was based on how dark it is when they get there and how dark it turns, I would say it's Vanderclock. This guy, I don't know if you caught this when you watched it yesterday, the guy that runs the cemetery, the caretaker, starts telling a grisly story of murder,
That
and
was the
Loomis
cat.
is not interested at
Not
all.
even a little.
Cuts him off right when he gets to the good part. He's like, well, where are we?
Where are we going? Come on.
But like I told Pete,
I
About-
thought somehow your leg hit me and it was the cat. And I'm like, I don't think you could possibly move.
it's not
Your
my,
limbs
it's not
that
my
way.
legs, sweetheart. The Donald Pleasance didn't want a backstory for his character, just like Michael Myers didn't have one. He wanted it to be assumed that his life was completely obsessed with this character. Because originally in the script, there was a scene where he calls his wife to give her an update. And he's like, he can't have a wife. He's seen the face of evil, and like his whole life is just obsessed with first breaking into his mind and then trying to keep him locked up. And I was like, that's a really good note.
It makes sense.
But then you watch what happens in the next 5 movies, and I guess he just stopped giving notes.
So, like an entire kid, the idea of this is that an entire kid or group of kids were able to pull a headstone
Yeah.
out of the ground and just carry it somewhere.
Oh, you've never played Headstone Steel? Pete and I used to do that all the time.
It's hard for them to tip it over.
What I like too, and this is another thing that doesn't come up a lot when talking about the movie, is that Jason, I'm not doing your shit now. Michael Myers still has that kid at heart to him. He's got hijinks going on.
Right,
Yeah.
the ghost costume.
The ghost costume, the putting the Judith Myers headstone and then laying the dead body in front of
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
He's got.
He's doing his kid,
Yeah.
those hijinks.
He's the Scooby-Doo
To
villain.
your point, though, with Dr. Loomis, he doesn't care about the other story because he's been living with evil
Yes.
Michael Myers.
Couldn't care less. Well, he's telling him the worst thing he's ever heard, and he can't even have time for it because he's seen real evil. It's a
Right.
really nice moment, actually.
There's lots of that in there that make you realize he is just evil. He's not really like Michael Myers is just like a vehicle for just evil.
My favorite line in the movie is when you see they find you don't see it, but they find a dead dog in there. And
Yeah.
he's like, no man would do this. And he's walking away and goes, it's not a man. And it's like, it's a perfect moment of like, why won't anybody listen to Loomis?
But also, they said maybe it's a skunk. So reading this, I'm probably going to get clarification on what the hell they were saying.
I like all the cars in this 'cause that was one of my
They're-
first cars. Ooh, look at that station wagon. Oh, wow.
Yeah, these are all
They're
when I'm
classics.
growing up.
Yeah.
Now, the alarm's still going off.
Yep.
It's been, if it's 6:30 now, that happened at noon.
That is
6.5
really
hours.
funny
Yeah.
to me.
I get why they did it because it's going to shut off for this joke. You know, he shouts
Right.
too. It's a great line. Well, your favorite, Annie.
Yay. Listen, look at all the sass she gives her dad.
There's no way he's not smelling that weed too.
No.
Unless, you know what? My assumption is he just smoked himself. And that's why he can't
Yeah,
smell it.
because he could smell it.
That would explain a lot of his behavior and mannerisms.
The only
Bro.
explanation.
A couple of knives. So they had masks at the hardware store,
yeah.
right? And knives,
They had
like
Captain
kitchen
Kirk masks.
knives. Yeah.
That's what I mean about how accidental it is, though. They couldn't find a mask, and they were like, what about if we just mess with this one? Just take the first thing you see off the shelf and make it into a mask. And it's
And
perfect.
why isn't the hardware store open in the middle of the day?
Because
It's a great
the alarm's
question.
been going off for a while.
No, he had to break in at noon. It's a great question. I mean, he got there before noon. I'm just going to guess noon for her class. But she leaves for school at a normal time, 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. It should be open by 9 in the morning.
I think he broke into it overnight, and the alarm's been going off since like 5 in the morning.
I guess it's possible he had the mask. He went the night before. He just didn't have it on yet.
Dr. Loomis, turn around.
But then the
turn
alarm's
around,
going
Sammy.
off. I love that part.
Yeah, the alarm has to be going off for a full day at that point.
Yeah.
But either way, the alarm's not going to make sense. See, they're smoking still.
The sun is actually setting in this. So,
I know.
Okay,
there's going to be a jump. There's going to be a cut.
There's going to be a cut where it's
darkest
dark.
night of all time.
I'm sorry, were you not here for Gremlins and Gremlins 2 when Kitty would point out every logical inconsistency with the quality of light? She noticed. Trust me.
This is where Lori admits she likes boys, and it's a big breakthrough moment. And is Annie supportive? No.
Of course.
Oh, no, she's horrible.
Who else is going to get her to open up? You got to be that way. Annie's a psychologist in training.
No, she's a psychopath in training.
Ben Tramer, who she name drops, is never seen in these movies, except for Halloween 2, where he gets murdered when a crazy Dr. Loomis pulls a gun out on somebody wearing a Michael Myers costume, because apparently that's just the thing you could buy, and an ambulance slams into him and bursts into flames. And then they have to spend the movie getting dental records to find out if it was really Michael Myers, and it was Ben Tramer.
Poor Ben Tramer.
Which one is this?
Halloween 2.
No one notices that
Oh my God,
they've
this
been
sounds
driving in
fantastic.
circles for at least 3 hours, and this guy's been following them for 3 hours, and this can't be that big of a town.
Kitty, they're high.
No, yeah, they're lost. They're lost.
Maybe that
They
explains
got really good weed. And it's the middle of the
Pitch
night.
black. It's like midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning here.
It's completely ridiculous. But what I also like, and this is part of the problem Halloween 2 has, Halloween 2 takes place right after, it picks up right at the end of Halloween 1. And the streets are suddenly full of trick-or-treaters and people. These streets are empty because they can't afford extras. So.
Wait, but okay, so this is the 30th.
This is the 31st.
This is the 31st.
Yes.
So then in Halloween 2, it picks up and there's trick-or-treaters, but that's the 1st of
It's
November.
Still the night of the 31st, technically.
Right, and then it ends and it's morning, right? Because it's daylight and the body
this ends
disappears.
at night. This ends at night.
Oh.
So it picks up the same night, but the problem is the streets go from completely. I'm pretty positive. The streets,
I don't know. We'll find out.
the streets go
Kitty
from
does notice light.
the streets go from completely empty to full because they had budget, and they didn't have a budget on this one. And I like it much better when there's nobody there.
That bothers me because they do the trick or treat song, but they don't do the full song.
Smell my feet.
Yeah, give me something good to
eat.
eat, but they don't say if you don't, I don't care. I'll pull down your underwear.
Oh, well, that wasn't invented until 1982.
They also showed more restraint in the 70s.
Yes, that's right. We're restrained.
Look at him hide behind the tiny tree.
No, here's the
He's
thing.
too big to be hiding behind it.
Here's a question for
Like
you.
that elephant on the internet.
Here's a question for you. Why does Annie park in the garage? It's not her house.
Nah.
Why does Annie put on the father's shirt when she gets?
Because she spills stuff on her. What's she supposed to do? Walk around? Oh, I guess I get where you're headed. I guess I see it.
I mean, I wouldn't be
I didn't.
washing my clothes. I'd be like, oh, my clothes are gross. I guess that's it. Oh, this is the part with the dog skunk.
Dog skunk. It's like the skunk ape, but a dog skunk of Haddonfield, Illinois. That's going to be the new Halloween. It's Michael Myers versus dog skunk.
In space.
I do like in space.
I guess if you think about Loomis's trajectory, they're about to find the dog. In Loomis's trajectory, he's super angry at the people at the hospital, but they haven't been listening to him for years. And now this cop's asking questions like, what's going on? He's like, people dying. They might be haunted.
What?
He just has no time for people's questions anymore.
It's a dog.
Again, I like to think that this is just how he interacts with people. This is Sam Loomis's like normal voice. It's just
It's still warm.
Touch it.
He got hungry. He thinks a skunk
been a
ate that
skunk,
dog.
yeah.
He thinks a skunk ate the dog.
look at that. Look at that. He's got no time.
This isn't a man. He's going to give a great speech upstairs, though, to give us anything we can. It's a great way to explain Michael Myers without explaining anything about Michael Myers.
Right,
Because it
'cause
sets
he's
the
not-
scene
he's
perfectly.
just-
Oh, I'm sorry. This is your first jump. This is the jump scare that got you for the first time, Kitty. When the
Oh,
window gets hit
the window,
by the.
yeah.
I don't
It's a good
remember
one,
the
though.
speech. Yeah,
See,
it
I was
is.
fully expecting when he climbed down that car in his nightshirt that
Yeah, just
he was
yeah,
going to
yeah.
break the window.
I was
so that wasn't my
misremembering
first-
which
yeah.
piece of glass got
Yeah.
broken that scared you.
I think I'd get scared again by this, but the music's not there.
I dropped a coffee cup onto a glass, and I got scared when it broke. So that's the glass that scared me.
Well, no, you said, what did you say?
Nothing broke.
I like this too in this movie where we're back in the house from the opening, and he's like, she was sitting right here, and it's like, they've created their own not cold case, but like murder scene that's not real, but then it's cool to watch them walk around it.
What?
Oh,
How
yeah,
is
yeah.
that street light so close?
It's not a street light, it's a gutter.
It's. Oh, okay. I thought it was a street light.
With a magnet in it.
Yes.
And break the glass.
He pulls out a gun, of course.
And the cop's like, yeah, all right.
But
He's like, do you want to look at the permit?
But he also explains to him why he would have it next. And at this point, the cop's still like, I don't know if I believe you. Like, you have to believe him.
Exposition? Plot.
Samuel Exposition.
That's his middle name.
This is the part where he stares through the wall.
Now, Kitty, I was telling you yesterday. Oh, I do like the speech. I was telling you yesterday Loomis was a name, and there is a Loomis in here, one of the actresses, right? Because we saw that.
Nancy
But
Loomis.
Loomis was also who? What was
Sam Loomis was the boyfriend in Psycho that she was
Right.
stealing the money to go away with. And then this is Dr. Sam Loomis, named after that character. And then Billy Loomis is taken from this. And Billy Loomis's daughter in the new movies, Samantha Carpenter, John Carpenter. But if you took her father's name, would be Sam Loomis.
Sam Loomis again.
Be the third Sam Loomis.
I told you there was something, Kitty.
Well, I put together like parts of it.
You had that look like, I'm ignoring Pete again.
I was reading the speech because you said it's a good speech, so I wanted to read it again.
Scream doesn't name him Sam Loomis, he names him Billy Loomis. You know why? There was restraint.
Of course.
1996.
Back then, we still had values. Adam's
Like,
family.
I'm just going to stay here.
But no middle class.
Like a kid during summer. No class.
In a bold and hearty manner.
I'm surprised that anyone would hire Annie to be a babysitter. Now I'm thinking about it. Like, these houses are next to each other. They should have just pulled up and let Lori watch them both.
That's true.
Although-
Because that's what she ends up doing.
And she does a good job protecting the kids, I guess. She also does lead the killer directly to the house where the children are. When she could walk in any direction, she runs back to the house.
Yeah, she runs back to the house, and then she keeps going upstairs to check on the kids. And I'd be like, well, I'm going to go call the cops. Like, I'll go to a neighbor's house and call the police. I'm not going to stay in this house with 2 children terrified in a closet.
Yeah, Lori has a big case of thinking it's over before it's over by the end of this
She's got
movie.
issues.
I know you love her.
I love her so much. That goddamn dog.
Is the dog's name Lester?
Yeah, I think it is.
Hey, Lester. I may have watched this movie a lot.
I like how she just giggles this entire...
They bring that hair curl back. That's because you're talking about a boy she likes. And in Halloween Ends, she's talking to the police officer who she likes, and she does the same thing. And I thought that was a nice little detail. That she never really changed. Not everything about her changed.
Okay. Halloween Ends was the Danny McBride one?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he plays Michael Myers. Actually, no, he plays Jason in it. It's weird. You haven't seen Halloween Ends. It's the movie that's about a completely different character, and I think it's actually a good movie, but I understand all of the frustration.
I think the internet disagrees with you on that one.
I understand all the frustration.
Look at her be a bitch.
So if you follow through what happens in 2 to its conclusion, she never goes to that dance with Ben Tramer.
That's
No.
true.
Because he gets killed by an ambulance exploding in a fire because they had a budget now.
I really kind of want to see Halloween 2 now.
It's complete madness comparatively.
I
See, that's
guess-
creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
This one, and then later when he's
And they're
carrying
still
the body.
trick-or-treating.
That's
Why-
like the best.
Why can't these kids go trick-or-treating?
They're what are they? The Church of Latter-day Saints? Which ones? Jehovah's Witnesses. They're not allowed to trick or treat.
Well, no, but in 1958, was that when the opening was, I think? Michael Myers is left at home with his sister because the parents are off partying on Halloween.
63, 'cause it
Here's
was
2 more
15 years
kids
later.
who's left at home alone because their parents are partying on Halloween. Halloween's not for kids in this universe.
Wait, it is?
It's not, because all the parents go out and party every Halloween.
Yeah, that's what you normally
Oh,
do, right?
Cats joined us for the recording.
Halloween Ends does the same thing. The thing opens with a babysitter, the new character that we're going to watch the entire movie, because their parents are going to a big Halloween party.
Well, that's what we do now. You don't have kids. You don't understand.
Yeah, I guess I don't. No, I'm usually here when you have Halloween, and then you guys disappear, and I watch the kid. Wait, what's happening?
Quick, hit him.
Oh, you don't disappear. You just change into costumes, and I can't recognize you. I have costume blindness.
Hey, are you coming over this year?
When people change,
you're working.
like where'd Andy go? I don't know.
Oh, wait, quiet.
His boner breaks his potted plant.
Oh, wait, did we miss the part where he kills the dog?
No.
I think we did.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. Stubbs is so disturbed right now.
I never thought I'd have something in common with Michael Myers.
Boing. Here comes Lester.
Oh, Lester.
Lester's coming. Lester's going.
In case anyone was worried, nothing happens to the dog. They just picked it up and then, like about waist high, and gently dropped him. So he was fine, even though you might think that he died.
What is she sprinkling?
I think it's popcorn.
No, the
Salt.
popcorn's
It's
next
salt.
to it. How much salt do you need
A
on there?
lot.
What's an abrasive synth?
It's a great shot. I don't know how they got that. They murdered that dog. I guess.
Again, I looked it up. They
It's all
lifted
practical.
him waist high, and then they gently put him back down. That's all slow motion. That's why it was done that way.
Let's say it's all practical. Wrench in the hand, murder a dog.
Well, that's what I read, and I heard that it was all practical, so I had to look it up just to make sure.
Here's Howard Hawks' production of The Thing, which John Carpenter would make in 1982 and remake it.
Wasn't it called The Thing from Outer Space?
It was.
Original?
It was.
I've never seen that one.
Well, it makes sense. It was from outer space.
And in Halloween Ends, when they're babysitting, they're watching John Carpenter's The Thing, which is another nice touch. Because that movie is very gruesome. So the babysitter watching it. The babysitter's watching it with the kid, and the kid's like freaking out by it. And he's like, maybe we shouldn't be watching this. It's a great note, because the 1950s one's not scary.
Right. But that was intentional, unlike this one, which apparently was not.
No, he liked The Thing, obviously. He went and remade it.
Oh, I know. I was just going with everything was random. But no, see, that's why people think it, right? Because some of these things are intentional.
Yeah. I think he just picked things he liked and did them on the day. And he liked smoking. And he liked...
Was there any purpose to that weird monkey cat in the background?
Yeah.
Or...
I don't know.
There
it
see,
is.
Look on the right, upper right. I think
It's a jaguar.
I think it's a panther, too.
A
of
panther,
some sort.
yeah, panther.
I think it's a
But
monkey.
where is it in the house?
It's a fertility statue. Michael Myers saw it, and then he killed the potted plant.
He went boing.
Nobody ever puts that plant on the list of his kills.
And he slayed it.
Yep. She's gonna star in the first half of a porno we don't get to see the end of when she gets stuck in a window.
Exactly.
That's what Pete asked.
There
And
might be more
I
on that
mean,
next week.
She gets stuck in the stupidest way possible.
Yes.
Boing.
Somewhere the potted plant should have fallen in the background. Yeah, this is one of those examples of a movie where they're just making everything up, though. Like, there's no standard for what these characters do until they die.
Right.
So they're just
It
coming up with
doesn't matter.
things.
Right. They don't have a trope to follow. There's no expectation.
Yep. Those big boxes at Tide.
That's a lot of Tide.
That's a lot of Tide. I could do a lot of laundry with that. 25% more Tide.
So the laundry room is outside, like a detached room in Haddonfield, Illinois, notoriously warm climate.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember my laundry house.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you're not from
You used to
Haddonfield,
live
Illinois.
I used to get stuck in windows all the time back in the day.
I mean, you could put these in your garage if you wanted to.
You know, nothing's really stopping me.
But I don't want to.
That's what's stopping you. Just showed up.
I like how she's yelling. She's so far away from the house.
Lindsay can hear her.
Yeah.
That's what, Lindsay can hear her.
Lindsay
Lindsay
can
gives no shits.
about
Lindsay-
anything.
Lindsay grew up to be a reality TV star
Holy cat.
In the Halloween universe or in the real universe?
in the real universe. And then she came back for the last 3 Halloween movies.
What
Last
reality
2 Halloween
TV
movies.
show?
I really like this part.
One of the Real Housewives or something.
Oh, I'm less interested now.
It's a great shot there.
Hanging out in the background.
He's into her too, Pete.
Yeah.
I know, we saw.
He's breaking the window.
I think I found my least favorite, slasher character. Oh,
Because he kills Annie.
yes. And also, he's my rival for her.
You've seen her first.
Like, she can't move that.
No.
No.
Come on, she's already annoyed she has to open a window. She's got time to move things.
What about Annie's character in this movie lets you think she's a doer? She's a pithy commentator at best.
She is the early 90s sarcasm character who knows too much.
Wait, just watch this part. I love it. Just hangs up on it.
Hey, I looked up, Kitty. That was John. I didn't look up. I don't know where I found it. Just trying to look up if that dog was okay earlier. That was John Carpenter being the voice of Paul.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I learned.
I don't care.
Oh,
Paul doesn't die in this movie either. Don't know why.
Paul is dead though.
Paul is dead. That's why.
Look at her.
Again.
How is that even possible?
Oh, stepsister. You appear to be stuck. I like that she says, "Please don't tell anybody," or "Don't tell them," and she immediately goes,
Yeah,
"Hey,
that's the first thing. She got stuck in the window. Well, she has no reason to have any
But she
respect for
doesn't
Annie.
make a promise. She just walks away.
She has no reason.
Yeah, that's true.
She has no reason to respect Annie whatsoever.
No.
She doesn't seem to respect much in the. Well, it's just Annie, really. She
Look at all
listens
those
to Lori.
flower pots.
Jolly time.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
So she didn't hang up the other phone, I guess, because it's still connected to this one. But remember
No,
that?
she hung it up.
Remember how phones are?
One click.
Yeah, I thought she did hang it up.
Yeah,
I
she
remember
definitely
you
hung it up.
leave a line open. You couldn't.
Here comes a great shot. There he is.
Where I missed it.
Right there.
Oh.
And
back.
he'll be gone when the camera turns back again. He's fast, ninja-like.
He is. He's supernatural.
Is that decided in this movie if he has any supernatural powers?
Nothing in this movie lets
Again,
you know
'cause it
anything
makes-
except that he disappears at the end.
Is there any kind of like common consensus that the internet has reached?
Nobody
whether
knows
it's a-
anymore because everything's been rewritten 5 times. The series keeps rewriting itself.
So
But
it doesn't. It's not even a debate, or because it doesn't matter ultimately.
If you take just this movie, then it's definitely hinted at, but there's no proof one way or another, really.
Right.
It's just that he gets shot and then disappears. Also, he has the ability to stab a guy through and hold him to the wall. I guess that's pretty good.
That was one. He's holding him with one hand.
Yeah.
That's what made me think of it, because Kitty was questioning it, and I said, I wonder. 'Cause-
You said no.
well, it seems like it's not, but he does get shot a few times.
You said he's just really strong.
I think he could just be really strong.
Yeah, he's got that crazy power.
And the children are still trick-or-treating. All right.
I think it might be the same, like 4 kids.
It is. It is.
Back and forth.
Where were they getting more kids?
Where were they getting more costumes?
You don't clearly see the
I
costumes
like this
at
one.
any
And
point.
I'm hiding by there.
Dun, dun.
I like that one, though, because it's a little window into how he operates. He's hiding behind the car, and he's like, now I can lurk.
Yeah. Again, a lot of it's still very childlike, like
Yes.
you pointed out.
He's playing games. He's
Oh, there's that panther. Look at that.
But it's not a shadow anymore. Before it was
No.
a shadow.
Uh-oh, it's becoming more solid.
Yeah.
The hidden monster.
Well, it was watching Annie change.
Well, she did just walk in.
I like that look on her face, too. She's like, no, I got to go get Lori to do this. Just like-
I like how Lori got it to the pumpkin to keep the kid busy, but she's stuck there doing it herself.
That seems about right, though.
Isn't that exactly right? Isn't that
Yeah.
how
Oh,
everything
I see.
goes? You ever colored eggs with your kids on Easter, and then you're like, no, I got to do this all night, and they're just going to watch?
Oh no, our kids.
I don't
like
know.
that stuff.
I let
Oh, yeah.
Kitty handle all of that stuff. Hey, Kitty, we got to get some pumpkins you got to carve.
Are we sure she's not a lesbian in that shot?
Who?
Lori.
Well, she's trying to get Ben Tramer.
Because they're.
Actually, she's
What's
trying to
her
get out
face
of going
fed
to the
him-
Ben Tramer.
And he fed her popcorn, and she just looked.
I think that it takes more to
Longingly.
be a lesbian than that.
Yeah.
At least according to the porn I
Longingly.
watch.
Well, what do you think Brian and I do at the movie theaters? If that were true, we'd have been married a long time ago.
You don't actually watch movies. You just stare at each other longingly and feed each other popcorn.
We knock down potted plants.
And do, do, do.
Back across the street, annoyed again.
Wait, that's the laundry room.
She's actually not annoyed because she's singing now. Another song they made up.
Oh, back to annoyance. I knew it wasn't far away.
No, she's still singing.
Yeah, but she's still got annoyed. He's right. He's
I
right.
don't
She
think
had, she had one happy moment, and then she couldn't get in the car. She's annoyed.
I'll argue that maybe she wasn't happy. She can sing and be annoyed.
Now, I like this little detail here. When she goes and gets the keys, and she comes back, and then just immediately opens the door because it's unlocked.
No,
and
she
doesn't
takes
think,
a sec. No, she does. You'll have to watch, but she does take a sec to ponder that.
Oh, does she? I thought
Yeah.
she's whistling and gets in the car. And then she's like, why does it seem like someone's been breathing in here? And it's like she
Yeah.
never puts this two and two together fast enough.
I never put it together. I'm just like Annie.
She's still singing that Opal song.
Please, I can no longer stall. Oh, Paul.
This is what girls do when they're going to hook up with a guy, right? They just sing about him.
Fluff their
That's
hair.
what happens, right?
That's how Kitty knows I'm in the mood.
Wait.
Nope.
Oh,
Unlocked.
maybe not.
And she's just whistling along. She's like, hey,
No, see, she stops right there.
See, I
because
thought
someone's
it
been
was-
breathing in here.
That's what I thought it was for.
Yeah.
The
He's like, why is there condensation
in
in the window? No, he slashes her throat too. You can't see it, but he has to
No.
do it because
No,
it's
no.
slashed
Because
on the
this
bed.
is the part where I was telling Pete that it takes about 5 to 7 minutes to actually choke a
But
person
then
to
he
death.
slashed her.
But then, yeah, he cuts
Is that why
out
you
the
have that
middleman.
timer by your bed?
I know, Kitty. You really got to pay attention to it. I keep telling you.
I do pay attention. That's why we have a timer.
No, the good news is that Pete's safe word is just bloody gurgling.
There it was, right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. Well, this has been fun, guys, but I have no real reason to watch the rest of this movie. So
He's going to the bathroom to masturbate because she died.
Ew, no, gross.
Yeah, you don't do that in the bathroom.
No. Bedroom.
Well, I'm back. What did I miss?
That's what the garage is. That's what the garage is for. That's why there can't be a washer and a dryer in there. Actually, we learned last time that's what the backyard is for.
Right.
You know, they're still back there.
Oh, the Wanderers. Yes.
The Loomers, the Loomises.
No, those wandering people from the beginning.
What are you
from the
doing back
psych
here,
ward.
Dr. Lumen?
Dr.
Get the hell out of here, kids. He's hiding behind the one bush we have in our backyard.
Because it's the 70s.
Yeah.
What is he dressed as? Luke Skywalker? I think it's Luke
I
Skywalker.
think a
Oh, it's a
ninja.
NASA. You think?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, not
That's
yeah,
called
not,
the meatball.
This would have been right. This would have been peak Star Wars. 77 Star Wars came out.
He's an astronaut?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
I
Sure.
think. Maybe I'm wrong. What the hell?
I thought he was a ninja.
That's the best shot to me. That's like Hammer
Do,
horror or like
do.
30s Gothic horror.
But it's so just out in the open. Just
Yeah.
him walking across. So commonplace every day. Just,
Trick or treaters run by again.
But it's Halloween.
right. It's Halloween.
What were you doing in there?
She was still carving the fucking pumpkin. It's huge.
Sorry, I was watching her yell at a child.
Yeah.
There is a boogeyman. You'll realize it by the end. That's her last line.
What was her last line?
Her last line in the movie is, it's either was that the boogeyman
Yeah,
or it
I'm
was
not-
the boogeyman.
I'm not clear,
Nobody's
yeah.
sure. I think it's because
Or
she's
the-
emphasizing the word was. It doesn't
Is there?
sound right. No, she says, I'm pretty sure she says, was that the boogeyman? But she's actually doing a good job
Oh.
being
Yeah.
scared and stuff like that. Because
Yeah.
the answer he gives is, as a matter of fact, it was. And the only way it really works is if the question was that the boogeyman, not it was the boogeyman. But I guess it still kind of works.
No, it works.
Here he is being a creeper. He's in Pete's backyard right now. You want to see where his hands are.
And again,
Not big
not,
front yards, though.
not like taking any particular concern to not be noticed by anybody coming from
Oh,
the other
how
direction.
we'll know that this was Lonnie if we do a rewatch. Is Lonnie wearing the red jacket?
I think that's Lonnie, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Go ahead, Lonnie.
Loomis might not have taught him to drive, but he definitely taught him how to stand by the bushes, or the hedges. Get your ass away from there. He's so proud of himself. Look at him.
Lee, I know.
Look at him smile.
I did good today. I did something real.
10 hours well spent.
I almost shot you.
The sheriff survives all the way till Halloween Kills in 2021, and then he does not make it through that movie.
Is it the same sheriff? Or?
Yes.
Oh, really?
He's not the sheriff in any other movies, but the actors in 1 and 2, and then he came back for Kills because he was
So-
still alive.
So they won't let him retire?
The new series kind of just lets go of Halloween 2 anyway, so everybody who survived Halloween 1 was available to be in this movie.
Oh, okay.
the nurse that Dr. Loomis is with is also in 2. She survives that one. She's in Halloween H2O and dies at the beginning, but because the new movies ignored that, she came back and died again.
Fair.
A rare character to die twice. There is one timeline where Laurie Strode is murdered by Michael Myers.
What timeline is that?
That is the one that goes H2O into Resurrection. She dies at the beginning of Resurrection.
Really? I never saw... Wait, which one had Busta Rhymes?
Resurrection.
Okay, then I think I did see that one.
Yes,
and
we saw that in theater.
I don't remember anything about it.
More fancy
You remember?
talk.
Johnny Lee. Kung Fu.
No, I don't.
Buster Rhymes watches his Kung Fu
Oh,
movies.
that's right.
And then he gets into a fight with Michael Myers and wins.
He knew Kung Fu. That's maybe why I don't remember this movie. I blocked it out intentionally.
Well, it's the best one, clearly. Tyra Banks is in it?
Yeah, but Loomis isn't.
No, he's dead by now.
Right, so...
He's like, it's not my fault.
Look at those eyes.
I'm just going to stand by this house.
I don't know. Maybe he should have murdered Michael Myers at some point, to be fair.
This is the most awesome
But,
man.
you know, there's the law.
No, then we get a very inappropriate joke here. I don't know if you caught it.
No, I did not.
Okay. She's telling her the plan. Like, we're going inside.
Oh, I
They
caught
think Annie's
it.
in there. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's weird, Pete. Here it comes. Okay, I'll rip your clothes off.
It's expensive.
Then you rip my clothes off. Then we rip Lindsay's clothes off. Lindsay's the 9-year-old?
But,
I thought they were talking about Annie.
No.
Holy-
They were talking about Lindsay.
Oh,
what, did he say that, or
Yes,
did she?
he said
he
it.
said that.
Oh, boy, I
Whoa.
can't wait for Bob to die now.
Yeah.
She thinks it's hilarious.
I can't believe she's okay with it.
Well, she's too dumb. We've
She
established
is dumb.
that.
Yeah,
She might not know which one Lindsay is.
She
Books
might,
aren't important.
she might not know what those words mean.
It's true. They left the door open in the van. I don't know why I'm worried about that. I know it's going to happen to them.
No one locks their doors in this movie.
That's true.
It's the 70s.
Yep.
Late 70s, early 80s.
78.
78, so late 70s. I don't know time.
45 years ago
Yeah.
for the day this comes out.
I can't wait till Bob dies.
I know. It's making me start to rethink my take on who Michael Myers really is deep down
He
inside.
killed Annie
Oh, damn it, I hope he burns in hell.
and a dog.
But Annie was mean.
That dog was just let go. I looked it up.
Yeah, he was hungry.
Yes.
I think he ate the other
He
dog.
did eat the other dog.
He probably ate
Well,
that
he ate
second
both
dog,
dogs,
too.
or skunks.
No, this is the thing. When it pans out, is this going to be Loomis or Myers creeping? You never know which one you're going to get. I still don't know for sure. Oh, it's Blue.
I feel like that should be a drinking game.
Loomis or Myers.
Mr. Myers.
Well, when we
See,
get
she's like, I had to carve this whole thing myself.
when we get to Halloween 5, I maintain the antagonist of that movie is Dr. Loomis, who spends the entire first half of the movie terrorizing a mute little girl who he fails to kill a year earlier when he tries to kill her at the end of the previous movie. It's completely insane.
I can't wait.
I'm focused on Halloween 1 because I haven't seen
You haven't
the
seen
rest
it in a
of
while?
them. So you guys talk about it, and I'm like, I guess I'll watch this movie here.
Loomis is the best.
Yes, agreed.
Now, is it because I kept talking about how awesome he is, or did you come to that conclusion on your own, Kitty?
Came to it on my own.
All right.
I always heard he was awesome based on pop culture.
See, I never heard anything about him.
That's the one unfortunate thing about when they keep resetting the timelines. All the Loomis stuff is gone after 1. Like in canon, nothing exists but 1 in the last 3 right now. And for a while, it was 1 and then the 2 Halloween H2O, Halloween H2O, and the Resurrection. So these timelines have been erased like 3 times. And he's just been left to be crazy in the past.
That's too bad.
She says totally a lot, too. That's her one character trait, is I'm dumb and say totally a lot.
Totally.
That's 2 character traits.
Totally charted. That's what
Totally.
She says that at one
Totally.
point.
Totally. Totally.
Now I really want to watch, what is it, Totally Killer?
Yep, that's a good one.
Gotta watch that.
There's a good weed joke in there, because I don't know nothing about marijuana. But she's given some weed in the 80s, and she's like, this is terrible. There's like nothing in here. It's like, man, weed sucked in the 80s. And I wondered if that was true.
Probably did.
Probably did.
Now, this is the second quickest sex scene in this movie.
Well, Bob.
What are you talking about? Well, Bob's not interested, clearly.
Bob's not interested in Linda.
So I was telling Brian outside earlier, Daniel, what's his face? Because I'm trying not to talk out of the microphone when I get your attention, Kitty. Dennis Quaid was her boyfriend or husband at the time.
Who's?
And Linda Vanderklamp.
Vanderclough.
No, it's
I like
Vanderklamp now.
Vanderklump.
But during one of the screenings, apparently the crowd got really excited at her nude scenes, and Dennis Quaid was like, should I go beat him up? And she was like, no.
Were potted plants falling all over the theater?
I assumed that you couldn't hear the movie over the sound of the potted plants breaking.
No, we don't know how long this sex went for because here there was a cut, so time can be distorted. The last one was a one shot that took 14 seconds to get up the stairs.
Okay, fine.
I just wanna give my man-
Here's like where I imagine insertion happens.
I just want to give my man Bob some credit, though, because
Yeah.
Bob's a stand-up guy from everything I know about Bob.
As Kitty pointed out, based on where their legs are, I'm not sure that they're having sex right
Yeah.
now. They might be missing each other completely.
Yeah, he's like on her thigh.
Hey, there's that creepy panther shadow again.
See,
Dramatic.
look, they're done.
Well, he was already in there for a while.
Or somewhere close.
And she says fantastic, like she means it. Nipple.
Yeah. Should I beat him up?
I was
You know what?
talking about his nipples.
The moment they had to go probably crazy was when she pulls her shirt, pulls the blanket down and says, do you see anything you like? Because it's a perfect invitation to answer the question.
Yeah, I bet you that's it. The internet did not tell me.
Yeah.
Bob is pure 70s guy. Look at that hair. Look at those glasses.
He's like that 70s guy from that 70s show, but also the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
You know what? No,
Right.
I was going to make a joke, but I was thinking of a different person. The bad guy there wasn't about children porn.
Oh, I thought we were thinking about Danny
No,
Masterson.
that's what I'm saying, but he wasn't a child guy, which this guy is.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
All right.
It
Yeah, I
not
see.
a perfect fit. Although it was for Linda.
So I don't understand why he'd put clothes on here either.
Well, Linda's not home. Or what's her name? Lindsay's not home.
So Lindsay Stiles.
This is the emptiest fridge for a family I've ever
I
seen.
got some eggs.
That's all you
I don't
need?
know if those are eggs.
I think it was old egg cartons.
I don't know.
Although egg cartons kind of look the same.
Why fix perfection?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Door creaking.
So all we know about Bob is that he's very good at sex.
What about Bob?
And
Yeah, what about?
he makes very inappropriate jokes.
I don't think it was a joke. Has he made any other jokes this movie?
Well,
Did we establish that as a character
Should
trait?
they, when Linda tells her we have some amazing news, Lindsay and Annie are gone for the night, should he have been disappointed instead of excited? If it wasn't a joke.
No, I know. I'm not laughing. Oop, there we
Right.
go. Supernatural or super strong?
Well, from here on
Come on,
out,
Bob, you can take them.
the characters in Scream watch this movie for the third act, so the third act of Scream is scored largely by the Halloween score.
See?
Really?
Just
I mean,
strong.
he put on his pants and everything. I don't know.
Oh, you don't want your little Bob hanging out.
Not if you're going to be pinned to a wall.
I don't know if I died. Well, not me, but I don't think he would have died right away with just one.
Take that, pervert.
Just like the dog. They lowered him slowly down. The problem is that knife is not that long, more than anything about the physics of
Yeah.
it.
I didn't even look at that before, but yeah. What? It's just the tip.
That's the famous head tilt that he gives, which is overdone in every other movie because it's interesting the one time.
This is my
the best.
favorite part.
Me too. It's so ridiculous and stupid and silly, but I maintain they pull it off. It lasts so long that it does get genuinely creepy.
It gets creepy because it lasts so long.
Yeah.
Hijinks.
It lasting so long is how she thinks it's Bob. It's unsettling after a time.
Yeah.
I was going to say something next, but I'm afraid that Dennis Quaid's going to come beat me up.
I don't know what else he's doing with his time, so. Oh, Bob's glasses.
Can't I get your ghost?
See, now it's unsettling. It reached unsettling.
See, I don't know. It keeps jumping between funny and unsettling, the whole scene.
I think the Vander clock is ticking on her.
Sure is. Now I'm just like, well, I know what happens now. I've seen boobs and, ooh, that's right. She calls Lori. I forgot. Now, my question after this was, Does Michael hang up the phone? Because she calls back.
Yeah, he gets on the phone. He actually puts it up to his
I don't remember
ear and
that.
listens to her. It's like one of the few human things he does. Which he can drive a car and answer the phone.
And read, I think.
And read a map.
And strategically place matchbooks to leave a trail.
And hijinks.
He does like his hijinks. Mm-hmm. So he's going to take the phone, which is weird because he's got the mask on. Hello?
All right. How did I forget this scene? I might have been getting pizza.
Maybe.
Yeah, go over there and see what's going on. It's probably fine. This is the thing, she abandons the children, too, to go over there.
Right. She locks them in.
There's the 70s.
Yeah. But the back door's probably open. What?
I think Linda's back door was open.
It's always open. Linda's back.
Well, the original house, they didn't even have a back door.
He's too busy to pick up because he's arranging the bodies now. That's actually true.
Well, he doesn't talk anyway. So.
This is an iconic outfit. This blue shirt.
Is this sort of where you said something about the clothes? You're like, "Oh, how uncomfortable were they? Or something to that effect.
Like how tight her pants are.
Oh, I'm looking.
I got to wait like 40 or 50 years.
He's still hanging out at the Myers house.
He has no reason to go anywhere else yet, right?
No, I know that nobody owns this house, but it is, the realtors are trying to sell it. We have to give the thing a clean.
Well, didn't he just say, like, we just got it? Go take...
Oh, maybe he did say that.
Go drop off the key so I can take a look at it later.
Yeah, maybe he did say that.
Oh, that was the other tie-in to Jamie Lee Curtis. He only had, like, one other movie.
He
and
finally
it was-
sees the car.
Yeah. So this is the problem.
Right,
He's
but-
been there forever.
Well, he's looking at the house, not behind him. Come on. He's focused. There he is.
Also, he runs much farther away than it appears he's looking.
Cape billowing.
You don't know what that is. I shot him 6 times.
7 times in the second movie.
Jamie, you have to remember. He's crazy. I love him. And at the end of 2, he supposedly dies because he blows up an entire hospital with him and Michael Myers in the room. And then the next time they bring him back for 4, and he's just got some light scarring.
I remember
He
walking.
hid under a blanket.
Yeah, that protects you.
Yeah. It's fireproof.
Walking out of the movie the first time, I remember turning to you, Brian, and saying, he was, well, not the first time, but last year when we saw it, I remember saying, that Loomis guy, he's kind of a little bit crazy, right? And that, and you shook your head at me.
Nope.
He's a lot crazy.
Relatively speaking, he's the most sane he's ever been.
Yep.
They had, when Halloween 2018 was getting made, they took publicity shots at this house with her wearing the same costume, and it was pretty great. Because, again, I think she looks better now.
I like her shirt.
Yeah.
I like Jamie Lee Curtis a lot. Everything she does, I seem to enjoy. And she doesn't make any missteps as a human being.
True.
Well, she steps into the wrong house here.
She
Yeah,
eats
she
that
does.
yogurt for her digestion.
What's yogurt?
I can't remember.
Oh, man.
It had a green.
I want to be like Jamie Lee Curtis.
I can't remember the yogurt. That's going to annoy me.
Everybody remember the yogurt, write it in.
Yeah, please.
Yes.
Call the show.
Send a self-addressed stamped envelope and we'll get back to you. Care of Pete's house.
Yeah.
Nah, you should get a P.O. box.
Just right. Just,
I
the
have,
house.
I have a Pete old box.
We don't want all our fan base here.
They all know our number already. They call in. We call them from Taiwan.
How did they get that number? Why do we keep picking up?
I don't know.
It's Bluetooth. I have no control over it. I mean, I could click any of these buttons, but I don't.
One of them has Nicolas Cage saying mean things about crows.
That's true.
I hate crows.
Hey, Nicolas Cage, quiet down.
Don't do it. Don't do it. They're listening to the movie.
Pal, Linda.
She waits all of 5 seconds.
Linda
Yeah,
was
well,
in The
I guess
Exorcist.
they're not here.
Loomis?
Loomis or Myers?
Mr. Myers who's creeping on her. Loomis is afoot.
Yeah.
So it could be anybody at this point.
He's running around.
We've got the movement.
I'm tired from, hours of sleep and stuff lately, but now I got to go home and watch every one of these movies and play Loomis or Myers.
That sounds like a great game.
It's going to be the new.
Well, the
new
ones he's in,
The new
you can
drinking
only
game.
you can only play Loomis and Myers with the ones that have.
That's still
Loomis.
five. That's still 5 movies.
Oh, okay. Well,
They've got plenty of material. to
why
work
do you
with.
even need keys in this neighborhood? Nobody locks their doors.
Well, because all the keys, I
They
assume,
actually
are...
leave them ajar.
It's when a door's not a door. But I assume all the keys are at the key parties that were rampant in the 70s.
That's where all the parents are.
Yep.
It's Halloween night, time for the big key party.
That's why there's no keys. Everything's unlocked.
Did I say Babysitter Murders? I meant Key Party Massacre is what it was called.
All right, Annie.
So, like, all that stuff about, like, she survives because she's the virginal one. Like, that was incidental. That was never the purpose of the thing. It was
Right.
never an idea. It just was what it was. So things could have been very different had they just written this differently. Because she does do drugs in this movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's never stated that she is a virgin.
She doesn't even talk about, she can't even talk about
implied.
boys, though.
I know, but still.
You're right, Kitty. It is just implied.
Although she is friends with Bob and she's pretty young, so maybe she isn't a virgin.
Oh, no, it's trauma. That's why she doesn't talk about it and has such negative reactions.
Yeah.
God damn it, Bob. Good
Bob's
work,
the
Mikey.
worst.
The traumatic thing here isn't surviving Michael Myers. It haunts her for all these years. It's finding Bob's body and having to remember.
Well, I forgot my point. He's probably 32 and dating some girls in high school.
Probably.
Bob.
It seems to be his type. Well, a little, not really, but kind of his type.
Oh, they're a little old for him.
Yeah. That line is unbelievable.
I did
I
not
did
catch
not.
it.
So-
I assumed it was Annie.
There's 2 writers in this movie. One of them had to write it. The other one had to approve it. Then the director's writing it, so I guess we'll give him that pass. But then the actor has to look at it and be like, yep, all looks on the up and up to me. And the other actor has to go, all right, I'll react to it.
Was there just a lot of drug use on set and no one really checked these things?
They were
Probably.
smoking a lot.
Or did just people not really genuinely didn't care what the words were on the paper? Like when they wrote it, they didn't remember anyone's names.
I'll be completely honest with you. From all those years of listening to John Carpenter talk about the movie, I think it's the latter.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe we're maligning poor Bob, and he was just reading what was in front of him because nobody gave a shit.
Well, I don't.
No, there's no point in not doing it.
Yeah, fuck
he's,
Bob.
He's dead anyway. Bob in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know about the actual actor that played Bob.
I don't think he is dead.
I thought we were talking about your dad, Kitty.
Don't say that about Bob.
Don't tell
What
him I
about
said
him?
that. What about Bob?
Bob's going to show up at some point, right?
Yeah.
Here.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Well,
he's,
the body of Bob.
He's
Bob body.
He's hung somehow above this door. I've never figured out the physics on it, but he's going to come swooping down from a
Annie,
different door.
no.
This creeped me out when I was a kid, this imagery.
I remember the scene from my childhood. Not
Did he
from
carve
last
that
night.
pumpkin?
I
Andy
think
didn't carve that pumpkin?
It was there
Oh, was it?
before. Yeah. After, because this is the sex room, correct? Where
Yeah.
Bob and
No, does he fall out of the closet?
He falls out of the closet. He's been strung up there. I don't know how he did it. Hijinks. And then this opens on its own.
I like it.
That's a big closet, too.
Yeah.
Like, he's swinging way back.
That just opens for no reason.
Yep. I like her dead face.
Yep.
That's great.
Then we get the famous, done with just a simple light fade in.
Oh, in the doorway
Nope,
back
nope,
here.
nope, nope.
Oh, no,
Is this the one in the unremastered versions you can't see?
We saw this in the theater, and it was an old copy, and you can't,
There.
that perfect. In the theater, it can't make it out for too long, so
Right.
it doesn't have the same effect where it's perfect.
Until right
on
about
this.
there, you suddenly see it.
Yeah.
See?
She should have died here. Like, honestly.
You can trust me. I've fallen down stairs. I've fallen down many
That's
a
a lot
stair
of
before.
stairs.
Alone or in pairs?
Both.
That's a good shot too. I never understood why all the famous shots of this movie that you see in used for
she
articles and
forgot
stuff,
how
they
to
never
work
use him
doors.
standing up in the door, in the light above
Yeah.
the thing. It's a great shot.
They've had to have used it elsewhere in other
I've
films.
never seen. No, I mean I've never seen them use that image for any of the Halloween things that are written
Oh, I
about or
see.
things like that. And I think it's like it should be an iconic image, and for some reason it's not.
Like, I understand that he shut the door with a rake. But the front door,
Hijinks.
she didn't know how to unlock it.
You were just complaining no one locks the doors. Now this guy's
Now he's locking all the doors.
Going
I
the
don't
extra mile.
understand.
He's trying to fix the situation for you, Kitty.
he's gone the extra mile on this one.
I like how he gets the lock. He doesn't just keep smashing the door open.
Who taught him how to smash through doors?
Well, he taught her, clearly.
She should have shut that door.
And locked it.
She'll put the rake back.
With the rake back.
Right back to the house of children.
Yes. Well, no, she tries to go to a neighbor, and they don't.
That's right.
you know.
What
They
was-
shut the blinds on her for no reason that I can figure out.
Is
But-
that neighbor
You wanna
who
answer
owns the
that door?
hedge house?
Well, everybody knows her in this neighborhood because it's a small town, right?
Technically, it's not her neighborhood, even though the geography will tell you that it is.
Why did they turn the light on?
To look at her.
They're like, no more trick-or-treaters.
Yeah. Go to hell, Laurie Strode. These are the people she should be mad at.
There's other houses, Lori. I guarantee there's some kids trick-or-treating still.
That's the thing. There aren't. But in Halloween 2, they'll be out in force.
I was about to say, according to Halloween 2 rules,
See, her pants are too tight to get the keys out.
Would it be better to lock these children in the house or to not lock the door? I don't know what the answer to that is.
Well, I guess he wouldn't have been so aware of the house because the doors are locked now. If
He
the
knows where
doors
she
were
is.
unlocked.
yeah, it's
Well,
her. She's the
screaming,
focus,
but-
right?
No, he always knew where she was. He's only killing these friends because they're close to her.
Another pot broke.
Another pot.
What am I excited about?
Yep. Well, she got wet looking at Michael Myers coming for her. You know why? Doesn't know they're brothers yet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's not
They're
until-
brothers?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
There was that rumor about Jamie Lee Curtis in, I think, the 90s. I can't remember anything else about it, though. And I think it's because she, worked out once, and they're like, uh-oh.
That's not very ladylike.
Yeah, she must be a guy. Testicular feminization. That's what it was.
The more I look at that, the more it looks like Battle
Yeah.
Cat.
Let me go stand by the window.
That
Seems safe.
Yeah, right. But that, yeah, right, Kitty. But the Battle Cat. That's what I thought last night when I saw it. I thought it was Battle Cat.
Get out of my
It was
brain,
Battle Cat.
Charles.
Somehow he got in.
Yeah, he went through the window. He crawled in through the bathroom window. That's the song.
He didn't get stuck.
No.
Get your knitting needle. It'll be okay.
What's
She's
that?
got 4. I'd be
Airplane?
carrying them around. He's
He
really
missed.
bad at stabbing people.
It's because he was wearing those glasses for a while and messed
Yeah.
with his vision, or he needed those glasses.
Now, she, for some reason, thinks it's over. She's going to drop the knife for the first of 2 times.
Oh, yeah, that drives me crazy.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
just-
last night I was
Yeah,
like,
he's like,
keep
"God
the
damn
knife,
it, keep the knife."
knife."
That's an image that get used.
And then now you just go stab a whole lot. Just make sure it was one knitting needle and he pulled it out before he fell down. And now you just go and stab a ton.
The rules weren't established yet.
That's
right?
true. So they think the scariest thing they could do is unarm her again. Even though the logical thing, because we've seen these movies so often, is to not do that. But there was no playbook.
Deputy Dewey told us.
See, that's a mistake.
Yeah.
Why would you do
Settle
that?
down, Kitty. Settle
It
down.
makes me so mad.
They
I don't
want her-
care. I don't care if there's no rules yet. I just think it.
Loomis, he's tried his hardest. He's dejected. What else can a fella do?
I don't know, but probably creep around.
Go look in windows.
His buddy.
He knows you were at the Myers house. He left you there. His daughter's dead and he doesn't know it.
Nope.
Oh, that's sad.
Hmm.
Also, his daughter's an idiot.
He comes back in the second one and he learns about it and he sees the body. They brought Nancy Loomis back for 13 seconds of a shot of her on a gurney dead. Oh, good for her for coming back.
Nancy Loomis was Annie, right?
Yes.
I'm glad she came back. I should really watch that Halloween too.
She was dead in that one, too.
Oh.
Dead body.
Warm bodies?
Yeah, they'd probably still be a little warm.
What part?
Yeah, right? How does a body cool?
The dog was still warm that he was eating.
How
Yeah.
long ago was that?
I don't know.
I guess 5 minutes ago, based on the timeline of this movie.
Or 16 hours because they were driving a long time. Up behind you,
Behind you.
you fool.
Ah!
can't believe one knitting needle didn't do it.
You could have had that knife.
No, she doesn't know. He thinks she's just a human. She doesn't know that he's super strength Bob up there and stab him with a knife that is not as long as it need to be.
He doesn't even go for the fake door being left open to entice him
Again,
out.
Yeah.
he knows where she is.
Well, also she's making a
That makes
whole
it
hell of a lot of
supernatural.
noise. He wasn't that far away, and she's like banging against the closet doors.
I think that subtitle
hitting
also just said,
hangers.
I'll hide in the closet.
She's, to a closet I shall go.
That shadow made it look like he was walking kind of like fancy with his hands out like, I'm going to sneak in here.
You know, I don't know if it's this movie or just childhood, but I remember hiding in closets and just seeing through the slats when people were outside. That was,
I think that was your childhood.
See, right now she's going. Ee,
Well, he knows
whimpering.
now.
Yeah.
I like this one of him breaking through. It's good.
good in a scary way.
Yeah, and
Eh.
intense way at least. And
Yeah.
the whole movie, if you follow it through from all the times he sees her behind the car, behind
He
the
turns on the light for
behind
her.
behind the hedge, in the laundry outside, he's just getting closer. And now here he is, full frame right in front of her.
Coat hanger.
I would not be able to take that apart. Here's Johnny.
She said she was a Girl Scout, right?
Seems like an odd time for an abortion.
He doesn't know how to work a light either.
Oh, another knife.
Yeah,
Well, I think it's the same one.
Well,
it's not.
they said there was
Yeah.
a couple knives,
Yeah,
right?
because well, later when they show all the places he's been, that first knife is still laying on the ground.
Oh, that's right.
But he did
That's
take
right.
multiple knives, so.
Where'd you-
Now you got a good shot on him there. To be fair, you did.
Yeah.
It's believable he's down. Maybe check for sure.
He's been stabbed in the heddle area a couple of
Well, it
times,
wasn't
knitting
the
needle
heddle.
and
yeah.
I mean, this is
And
one of
the
those
coat hanger.
rare
Coat
moments when
hanger.
you can just get away with murder, so you should probably take it. Like how I always think Sidney Prescott in those movies gets real excited somehow because it's like, oh, I can murder again.
Stabby, stabby. This is your chance.
Right.
Protect the children.
At least cut his hands off.
he's
Oh,
and then leave some seaweed underneath them. Recommit the Joe Hill murders.
This
on
is
the dunes.
Did I say that was the babysitter murders? Because it was really the Joe Hill murders, was what he wanted to call it.
Look, just leave.
Drop the knife right
She
next to him,
did-
too.
Why? Why?
Right? Make it easy.
She should have learned from the first time she dropped the knife.
That's right. That's
Learn what? She succeeded even more the second time.
And she's like, kids, now open the door, even though there's this dead psychopath on the ground.
Hey, come see your uncle. They take this line and use it at the beginning of Scream.
Which line?
When Drew Barrymore's already hanging in the tree and the parents don't know that, she's like, I want you to go down the street to Mackenzie's house, which is where she sends them.
Oh.
That's her go-to line is do as I say. They
Not
do
as
it.
I do.
But they do it. Have you tried this one, Pete? With your kids?
I feel like I have, but it's just ignored like everything else I've said.
This is the most famous part. There's even an audio somebody has recorded from an original 1978 screening you can see online of like 2 minutes of the movie, including that part, and the audience like freaking out when he sits back up. Because again, they've never seen anything like this.
Yeah. He's just an unstoppable monster.
Oh,
He's got really good core strength, too.
I haven't seen Lindsay run like that since Bob visited. I do like that it ties together with how we can figure out which house it is because the kids just ran out the door.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
that's good.
That makes sense.
Took 'em a
I don't know
long
why
time to
she
get there.
doesn't just turn around and watch the body if she's not going to go make a phone call to the police. Like, I would not take my eyes off it.
And she's the smart one.
She is the smart one. Well, she's the one who lived.
Without
Oh.
the sound, everyone looks dejected at some point in this movie.
She was kind of Snoopy walking, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
Come on, Loomis.
the most famous final girl in history having to be saved by a man.
Oh,
Oh, look at him.
don't
He
look at
put
me.
his mask back
I'm a
on.
monster. Oh.
Yeah, got him.
I mean, but the man is Loomis.
I think they cut the line here where he says, I have a PhD in murdering your...
I don't know that he's necessarily a man. He's
Okay,
a
it
god.
is still dark out. Okay.
Ooh, a rare miss on Kitty.
Yeah.
No,
It was really late at
I'm
night.
curious what the subtitles say the line's going to be.
Let's see.
Lori sobbing.
Oh.
That's what she said.
That's what I think she does say. I don't think the line like is right. I think she says the wrong line.
Yeah.
Because was that the boogeyman after having, explaining it doesn't exist and having the kid talk about the boogeyman all night? And she's like, that's not real. And now she's been reduced to this. I think it's perfect. I just don't like the line, it was the boogeyman, as much as, I guess her realization of it is fine, but then his line's wrong.
I like
It
it
was
as
the
a good
boogeyman.
like psychologist or
Matter of
whatever.
fact,
He
it was.
just leaves the woman sobbing,
Yeah.
traumatized in the corner.
He's established that's not his problem. He's got one problem in life, and his name is Michael Myers.
And this is, I think, the best ending they could have possibly come up with him just gone. And then they show you shots of all the places we've already seen with his breathing over them because he's always around. It's a perfect ending.
Look at what he has wrought.
It's a perfect walk out of the theater like, oh shit, I'm not going to enjoy this.
Oh, there is the knife.
Yep. People are walking out of this, teenagers are walking out of this movie in 1978 into the darkness going, I don't feel right about walking home or getting home right now. He's everywhere.
I told Pete he couldn't go to.
For a movie that Kitty was not scared by because it's too old, we finished watching the movie. It's late. I go wash up, take my contacts out, brush my teeth, normal washing up. Kitty says, no, you got to wait for me to come out. You can't go upstairs without me.
Yeah, it's a perfect ending.
Yeah.
Now, this one, we're going to have a bit of a dilemma here, Brian, because I watched it last night. There are, in fact, two best boys on this film.
Well, one of them's Bob.
I have a theory that they couldn't think of a good name for Loomis, so they named it after Annie.
Yep, Linda doesn't have a last name.
And I'm pretty sure they
Who
took it from
does?
Psycho. Because he's the
Loomis?
exact same name. Sam. His name's Sam Loomis.
Yeah.
Hey, Pete, what's PJ Soul's last name?
Peter Griffith. So close.
Right?
The Shape.
Yeah, why do they call him the Shape?
Hey, who was Stunt in the movie? I don't remember Stunt.
I think it was the dog.
Oh,
His real name was Jim
Jimmy
Whitmore.
I'm sorry if you guys can hear my stomach rumbling.
That was your stomach?
Yes.
Boom Man.
Boom, man.
Don't eat a dog, Kitty.
Gaffer.
Best boy.
Josh Miller versus Steve Mathis.
Oh my God. How do we decide?
I don't know. I've been thinking of it all night. I can't figure out a way.
I picked Josh Miller.
You've been thinking of this all night?
Yeah, obviously. I still haven't come up with an answer. Josh Miller, you say, Kitty.
Well, I think they've disqualified each other, and the best boy of 1978 is Dr. Samuel Loomis.
I am not going to fight this nomination for Best Boy of 1978. Kitty?
Oh, they had Don't Fear the Reaper. They got permission for that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And they did that in Scream, too.
They played a ballad version over a love scene.
Oh, that's right. What was it when they were in Scream, the estate, like they're showing the town the first
Red
day?
Right Hand.
Yeah,
Nick Cave and the
Nick
Bad
Cave.
Seeds.
I like
Which they
Nick-
used in all of them except for 4, because 4 makes some weird choices with the sound. They don't do any callbacks you'd assume they would do, which I kind of like about it. But since it's remaking, it's the one about remakes, they took special effort to not do those
Did
things.
not do that. Okay, that makes sense.
There it is.
That's a movie.
That was a good movie. What did you think of the
Yeah.
movie, Kitty? First time watching?
I liked it. It wasn't scary, except when it was.
Except when it's time to walk home from the theater or go upstairs by yourself.
I enjoyed it. It was a good movie.
And this is what launched Jamie Lee Curtis,
Yeah.
obviously, because it's her first movie. But
She would do a handful of more horror movies in a row and then leave horror behind until Halloween H2O.
it's also from Scream. She didn't show her tits until she went legit.
Trading Places in 83. We all know that from Scream.
Yep.
And not anything else.
Nope.
What's the movie she was in?
True Lies.
Yeah, I like that
Yeah, that's
movie.
a good one. She did Halloween, Halloween 2, Prom Night, Terror Train,
Freaky Friday.
and then she kind of like said goodbye to the genre for a while. She was a voice in Halloween 3 on a phone. She's doing the John Carpenter bit.
But she never.
She's
Oh, sorry.
in a show. I think it's like Scream Girls or something.
Scream
It's
Queens.
Scream
Yep.
Queens in the fraternity or the
Sorority.
sorority house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that show.
She plays
I
the
didn't finish
headmistress
watching.
of the school.
She
Or,
never,
as they call them, deans.
No, she was the headmistress of the school.
he's watched it, I think. Based on the way he's telling you that, I believe he's seen it.
That has Emma Roberts from Scream 4.
It's a bunch of
Yep.
them.
And it
She was
has-
in the American Horror Stories a few of the
Never saw
seasons.
any of them,
I know,
sure.
but she was.
It has Princess Leia's daughter.
Who's Princess Leia's daughter?
I don't know what her name is. She's in lots of things. She's in the new Star Wars movies too.
Okay.
It has.
Oh yeah, she's at the end, and she has the hair that's an
Yes.
homage to.
Oh, that's
Princess
right.
Leia.
I don't remember, but I
It has
remember there
Leah
was
Michelle from Glee.
That. I never watched Glee.
Famously can't read.
Okay.
So that's what they say.
No, Jordan Catalano can't read.
That's true. And that explains why when every interview question is, "Are you Brain?"
Are you Brain today?
And who else is in it?
The Screen Queens.
Ariana Grande's in the first episode, so she can die right away.
A lot of people die right
That was
away.
fun. And it has Abigail Breslin from Zombieland.
And that one was Steve Carell.
Why are you always when they're children, Bob? This is the Mara Wilson thing all over again. You're like, I remember when she was 6.
I don't know. Because I liked it had Drake Kinnear and it had, it might not be her actually.
Were you going to say Toni Collette?
No, maybe. I think it was her.
It has Alan Arkin.
Yeah, Alan Arkin. What the hell? Was that Abigail Breslin?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it was, yeah.
I don't know anymore. I like that movie.
I think it was. But again, you've chosen the movie where she's the youngest. You couldn't remember her.
Yeah. Oof, it's not a good look for me.
I think Kitty said you can't go up without her because she's worried about what you're going to do.
I'm really bobbing it up in here.
Yeah. That's what's about Bob. All right. That's it for Halloween 1978. Pete likes the movie.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's fun. I like Loomis so very much, and I'm so excited to see him in the future.
You don't know what death is. Yeah, we'll be back one day for Halloween too.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
it's fun to see the continued adventures of how this thing goes off the rails. A movie that gets Jamie Lee Curtis back and Donald Pleasance back, and then barely puts them together in scenes again, like this movie. They're never together, and then he saves her once again, so they never get rid of this. But they mostly put her into like a coma for most of the movie, even though they have her back and they can use her. They don't know what to do, so he walks around a hospital where she's asleep most of the time.
Quality
The
stuff.
series made some interesting choices.
So she's tired.
She has had an ordeal.
Yeah.
The best thing about the end of that movie is that I understand the hospital blew up, so they got to take her somewhere. But they take her from the hospital. They put her. She survives in the parking lot of the hospital from the hospital she was in, and they put her in an ambulance to drive her away. It's one of my favorite things. Just
But to the other hospital.
To the better hospital, the
Yeah.
one without killers running around and
The one
ambulances
that's not
blowing
blown up.
and I know that's right, but it's still hilarious to see somebody put in the back of an ambulance to drive away from a hospital. It's inherently funny.
To they just go in a circle and come back.
Yeah. All right. Got anything else they want to say?
Anything, Kitty?
No.
Happy Halloween.
Joe Hill's a murderer.
Yes. Who is?
Joe Hill's a murderer. Oh, yes. Happy Halloween. Because when we see you next, it will be November, and we'll be Talk to Me with Ken from Taiwan.
And if you're wondering who's talking, it's Pete. I'm
Oh, it's
talking.
Pete.
That's true.
Not
No.
Bob.
I think you'll see next week the person who was talking that episode was Ken, who was on some kind of a drug and could not stop speaking very quickly and very much.
He likes that movie.
He was very excited.
Oh, you guys already recorded?
Yeah, it is hard when you can't see the person in Taiwan to talk to. It's harder when they never take a breath.
Hard enough to break a pot.
Were we supposed to try doing it a Zoom? Well, I can't be there. I can't record with Ken and Pete because it's not allowed. Because then Brian can't talk.
Oh, I don't mind that part. It's just that we get down some dark corridors. To be fair, we might have done today anyway.
The Black Rooster.
Pete started talking about porn for some reason. That's not true. I
That happens every time.
I mentioned
Ken calls.
Caligula, and then Ken went right to all the porn in it.
Yeah.
And then we just fell down a rabbit hole.
Why? I mean, it's what Caligula does.
I don't know.
All right, let's
So-
end this on that note.
All right.
Happy Halloween.
All right. May everyone have a happy Halloween, and make your love making last as long as that opening scene. Seems like a winner to me. See you later.